Okay, Bill, this is your video. You want to see some of my technique, how I place my hand, if I use a pick, what I'm doing, so on and so forth. So I'm using my acoustic bass. Of course, whatever bass you're using. A lot of times, my right hand placement, I'll use the sound hole decoration or whatever for kind of like a basis where I'm going to lay my thumb. But if you look in, basically all I'm doing is I'm laying my thumb kind of on it and just kind of positioning it. So when I'm using my other fingers to pluck a string, make the sound I want, I've got an anchor point and I'm able to move my hand across the strings to get to where I'm going, back and forth. It makes it easy. It kind of centralizes your hand and makes it easier to move. The other thing I do with my left hand is placement of my thumb on the back of the neck. So basically, as you can see here, I'm able to move along the fretboard and keep my thumb anchored basically in one area. So I'm able to get to the frets for positioning. Makes it easier. So it's a lot about being comfortable with it. Of course, if you're going to move up and down the neck, you're just going to move your thumb around the back of the neck so your thumb is always behind wherever you're playing. And then of course, if you have to do stretches, you can do that too. But always use your thumb as an anchor point, as well as your pick hand. Now, if I'm going to use a pick, I don't like to use, come on in here, cameraman. I don't like to use any more in a pick than I really have to. If you hold it out here like this, one, it's kind of unnatural, unless you're going to be doing a certain, picking style, like sweep picking, like Eddie Van Halen does. He'll hold the pick out like that. But generally, I hold the pick between this finger. I'm running my finger down the back, long side of the pick, like that, to kind of support it. I mean, it is plastic, and kind of stiffens it up a little bit, so I'm able to make a sound without a lot of excess pick noise, if that makes sense. And of course, my hand placement, I'm not really laying it on the strings, as you can see. I mean, you could go across the back of the bridge and use you can pick mute it. So you can tell the difference. So it really depends on what you're doing. But most of the time, I mean, if they tell you, in classical training, don't plant your pinky down and use it as an anchor point, because one, it kind of limits your mobility, and two, they say it's a bad habit to get into. So a lot of times I'll just rest my arm on the edge of the guitar, and then I'm still able to get enough motion to what I need to do. Hopefully that makes sense. Maybe that helps you out a little bit. If you need anything else, give me a holler.